Okay, so just going to look at evaluating angles in different quadrants. Okay, so just to get an idea, like say 60 degrees, we're looking at this is 0, 90, 180, 270, 360. 60 degrees would be like turning this far and it would just be there. So that's where your acute angle is. Remember, all of them are positive there. In this quadrant here, so let's just say we had 150 degrees. 150 degrees would be around to there. So that's like in your second quadrant, you turn 150. And your acute angle here is 30, and that's your right angle triangle there. And only sine is positive in that quadrant. Tan and cos are negative. We go to quadrant 3. So this is 1, 2, quadrant 3. We're looking at angles, say, like 240 degrees. So 240 would be around to there. And this little acute angle in here is 180 plus theta equals 240, so the little angle there would be 180 plus 60 degrees to give you the 240. So that would be 60 in there, and that's your triangle. Now in that quadrant, only tan is positive. So far all in the first quadrant, and that's just theta, it's just the acute angle. This one is 180 minus theta, and only sine is positive. They're all positive there. This one is 180 plus theta. So to get the acute angle, you're going all the way to 180 plus what do you add to give that angle? And tan only is positive. If you went to the fourth quadrant, you'd be turning like this, around to here. That angle there would be, it's 360 minus theta. So the acute angle is just there. So if you had, say, 315. So if you went 360 minus what gives you 315, the theta would be 45. That would be your acute angle in that quadrant. Okay, and the only one that is positive there is cos. Okay, so the way to remember this, they're all positive, then sine, tan and cos. So you have all stations to, now you could go central, but if you live on the Coast Coast, you could go to cos. So how that affects things, if I wanted to find, if I wanted to evaluate, and we're going to do it exactly, so we're looking at exact values first. So sine 60, cos 60, tan 30, and let's go cos 45. And then I'm also going to do some of the reciprocal ones. Sec 45, cosec 60, and sec 30. Okay. And why don't we also do a couple in radians as well? So, tan pi on 3, sine pi on 6, and cosec pi on 4. Okay, so looking at these here, these are all acute angles, so that means they are all in the quadrant 1, so they're all going to be positive. So when you're looking at these, you're looking at your exact angle triangles. So they were 60, 30, root 3, 1 and 2. They are on your formula sheet. That's root 2, 45 and 45. Okay, so sine 60 would be root 3 over 2, because it's opposite on hypotenuse. Cos 60 would be adjacent, so it would be 1 on 2. tan 30, so we go to 30, opposite's 1 on root 3, 45, so we go to this triangle, 1 on root 2, sec 45's going to be hypotenuse on adjacent because it's a reciprocal of cos, so it's going to be root 2 on 1, root 2, cosec, reciprocal of sine, so if you go to cosec 60, so sine would be opposite on hypotenuse, so it's hypotenuse on opposite, so it's 2 on root 3. Sec, third letter is C, so sec is hypotenuse on adjacent, so and it's 30, so hypotenuse is 2, adjacent is root 3. So looking at this, pi on 3 is 180 on 3, which is 60. So here we're looking at tan 60. Tan 60 would be opposites root 3 on adjacent. So it's root 3 on 1, which is root 3. Sine pi on 6. Pi on 6 is 180 on 6, which is 30 degrees. So sine 30 would be sine 30. So go here, would be 1 on 2. And cosec, go to the third letter rule, which is sine. So cosec 45 would be hypotenuse on opposite. So it's going to be root 2 on 1, which is root 2. Alternately, if you have that 82 version 2 calculator, it will do it for you directly. But on a calculator, if you say went sine of 60 degrees, put sine of 60 into your calculator and you'll get a decimal. Now that decimal is actually a third. So you just go sine 60 and you get 0.866025. So then what you can do then is you square it. So you square your answer, your answer squared. When you press equals, you get 0.75. 0.75 is 3/4. So what you then do is you just manually, not in your calculator, square root that, and that'll be root 3 on 2. So it tells you which ratio it's going to be. So say you said sine 45. So sine 45, if you put that in your calculator, sine 45 is 0.7071. If you square that, you'll get 0.5. 0.5. You get that. So that means that's 1 on 2. So then you have to manually square root it. So it's 1 on root 2. So just one more. Tan 30. So you go tan 30 in your calculator and you get 0.57735. So put an arrow there. And then you square that answer. So square it and you get 0.333. Just press the SD button and you get a fraction, which is 1 on 3. And so that's 1 on root 3 when you manually square root it. Because it's root 1 on 3, which is root 1 on root 3, and root 1 is 1 on root 3.